Hey, Curious Connerys. Dylan here. We just want to give you a heads up that the following program contains conversation relating to topics that may or may not include physical and sexual assault and self-harm and mistreatment of different cultures. We are in no way condoning these things. But given that Sean Connery has acted in films going back many years, they've tended to come up. To spin a phrase from Disney, many of these films include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures that were certainly wrong then and are definitely wrong now. But rather than not discuss this content, we'd like to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and create conversation for a richer future. Stay curious, folks. And now, on to our show.
This is Irvin Kershner. Please watch Fine Madness. Watch this podcast. Listen to a Fine Madness. Watch Connery Curious. Be Connery Curious. I was Connery Curious when I directed Never Say Never Again. Was that the title, or did I direct it twice? If I did direct it twice, it meant there was more story to tell, more drama. This is Irvin Kershner wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I play the didgeridoo.
Connery Curious. Last Crusade. You only live twice. And the Anderson tapes. Murder on the Orient Express. You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next. Marnie and a woman of straw. An older man in Africa. We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Dylan Titus.
Mario Lima.
What's going on?
Oh, not much. I've just been going a little bit crazy.
A little bit crazy. Why do you say that?
Well, I guess that would be because of today's film.
I would say it's fine.
Sorry, I'm just getting right into it.
I would say it'd be fine, but
It's fine that I'm going a little crazy?
it's fine that you go a little mad.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm mad at you.
Oh well, that's why. Is it because I played my didgeridoo earlier?
It is, and not because I don't love the sound of a didgeridoo, but mainly that you didn't invite me.
Sorry.
I got here to the podcast, and you're like, Dylan, I just put my didgeridoo away.
Next time, I'll bring it over, and we'll jam out on our didgeridoo. On my
You and I should start a band.
Okay.
I'll also play didgeridoo.
Ooh.
But
we'd have a didgeridoo.
wait, mine will be a synthesizer.
Oh.
So,
Did they make those?
together, we will be the all-original digital Aborigine didgeridoo duo.
Wow. That's I can see the merch now.
Right?
I'm in.
Yeah. Not just a didgeridoo.
But a lot more.
That's my favorite Pokemon.
Didgeridoo.
It's just two didgeridoos connected at like the 90% of the way up. There's just like a little connecting lever that so they just run as legs.
It has googly eyes.
Yes. One per leg. Use blow. And the
Anyways.
the enemy Pokemon is made confused or paralyzed. Put to sleep? Poisoned.
Paralyzed.
It's poisoned.
Because didgeridoos are known to paralyze people when you play them.
The didgeridoo is a poison Pokemon.
A poison for your ears.
That's like listening to the all-original Aborigine didgeridoo digital duo. I messed it up. That's like listening to the all-original digital Aborigine didgeridoo duo without earmuffs.
Oh, man.
Print.
Perfect. But anyways, man, we'll talk about our didgeridoo band off the air. Till then, we got to talk about 1966, A Fine Madness.
A fine madness.
Very fine.
Wow,
Super fine.
sorry to just get right in. Usually we do a little bit of banter.
Oh,
But
no.
I'll get back to the banter. How are you today, Mario? Tell me about your day.
I'm great. I'm doing great.
Tell me about your day.
What did I do? I woke up. I admittedly watched this movie this morning. Had a great time. I ordered a sandwich. And then
What kind of sandwich?
it was a sausage, pepper, a little bit of cheese. It was really good.
Sounds delicious.
It was delicious.
Mm.
Yeah, and kind of hung around. What'd you do today?
I spent some time applying print transfers to hats.
Oh,
Yes, it was a task. Not an overwhelming task. It was just a task
a task.
that required doing, so I did it. And I had the leftover of a burger with
Ooh.
onions and bacon and cheese and lettuce
That sounds way better.
that I made last night.
That sounds really good.
It was better yesterday.
You make good burgers, so
Thank you.
I like those burgers.
Thank you. Come over for a burger sometime.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. This is the first one we've done in a while separated from each other.
Well,
We've done so many.
No, The Rock. The Rock was
The Rock.
recent.
That's right. The Rock. The Rock was.
We were
away.
separated, but we were together for the last one for Rising Sun. We were together, and then we were together for Outland.
That's right.
And then we were not together for Dr. No.
Yes.
So it's kind of been
a
on and
mix.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like not as
It
often.
feels like maybe it's because our schedule's been off a little bit.
Probably.
It feels like we've been mostly in each other's company, but now
I think it's
over Zoom
because
again.
this Zoom quality has gotten so good. I feel like you're in the room.
Did you smell the fart I just
I
did?
I did. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Good. Okay. I wanted to make sure that you could smell it.
Thank you.
I farted right into my microphone, and now I'm rubbing my eyeball against it. I'm sure nothing will come of that.
You'll be fine. You'll be okay. But anyways, man, A Fine Madness. Should we get into
madness.
this?
1966 is A Fine Madness. That is what the wheel graced us with last week. Let's get into it, Mario. What did you think of A Fine Madness?
I thought it was fine. Madness.
I also thought it was fine. Just fine. Like, not fine as in like a finely tuned instrument, but it was just like fine. This is fine.
Yeah, it was fun at times. It's a very out of character Connery, just the most different I've ever seen him.
Yeah, this is definitely the most different we've seen Connery.
Yeah, it's like, because this is, I think we said that last week. We're like, oh wow, this is going to be a comedy, and we didn't know how
A Connery?
a Connery. But the
Connery.
oh, I like that. But yeah, going into the Rotten Tomato scores,
Yeah, do cover.
It's-
Do cover the business.
the business here, 33% on the tomato meter.
Okay.
Audience score matched it at 33 as well.
Okay. Do you agree with that?
I
We'll
don't
give our
thi-
ratings later, obviously, but do you agree with that?
But I think I disagree with that. I think it was not much higher, I guess, but it's like we'll get into details. Like I was really laughing at some points.
Yes.
And really confused at some points and really tripping out sometimes. I'm like, man, this is a real movie. This is actually a thing. But
This
I
is
thought-
actually a movie.
this is actually a movie. This is real. What you think,
there were
man?
many moments. There were many moments where I thought to myself, boy, this is real. This is real. Also, this feels like a wicked, like, jobber film. Like, it's just a film made for the sake of making a film.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't need to exist. It's, I don't know. It's an interesting film, and to be honest, I've of the 4 ratings that we do, I've only marked down the sexy rating. I have to think about the others. I don't have to think about the SH, but
Yeah.
I have to think about what I think of Sean and what I think of the film.
Yeah.
I watched most of it last night, and I got to a point where I just had to go to bed. So I finished it a couple hours ago, and yeah, I've got a good amount of notes on this film. I'm looking forward to discussing it. Let's discuss it.
Let's get into it.
Should we begin the Wikipedia summary as usual?
Let's do it.
Okay. A Fine Madness is a 1966 American Technicolor comedy film based on the 1964 novel by Elliot Baker that tells the story of Samson Shillito, a frustrated poet unable to finish a grand tome. It was directed by Irvin Kershner, which I'm sure will have no bearing on this episode. Stars Sean Connery in the midst of his James Bond roles. Joanne Woodward, Gene Seberg, Patrick O'Neill, and Clive Revel. All right, I'll get into the plot.
Plot it up.
Oh, actually, let me do the trailer voice Wikipedia. Samson Shillito, mad genius of a poet, irresistible to women, but plagued by writer's block, agrees to see a psychiatrist and his beautiful wife. That's really... I get it. It makes sense how it's phrased, but it's also really uneventfully phrased. Is he going to see the psychiatrist's wife or his own wife? Anyway. All right, let's go to the wiki plot. We'll go a couple paragraphs at a time like we usually do.
Yep.
Samson Shillito, played by Sean Connery, a poet, lives in Greenwich Village area of New York City with Rhoda, played by Joanne Woodward, a waitress who stands by him through all his troubles. When Samson cannot find the inspiration to finish his latest poem, he becomes belligerent and depressed. Samson is continuously pursued by a debt collector after his late alimony payments to a previous wife. If Samson doesn't pay, he will be arrested. Samson eventually assaults a police detective who accompanies the debt collector. Samson has other troubles when he loses his job as an office cleaner when he has sex with a secretary, Sue Ann Langdon, while his carpet cleaning machinery fills the office with soap suds. However, Samson does earn a $200 fee for doing a recital of his poetry, to a women's group that ends in disaster. On Samson's behalf, but unknown to him, Rhoda seeks the help of psychiatrist Dr. West, played by Patrick O'Neill, who claims to be able to cure writer's block. Rhoda gives Dr. West the $200 she collected for Samson's lecture to treat Samson for what she fears will become suicidal depression if he can't finish his poem. Dr. West reluctantly agrees to see him, and when Samson confronts the doctor about the return of the money, West is fascinated by Shillito and persuades him to become a patient. In order for Samson to be away from the chaos of his life in the city that he might finish his poem, Dr. West arranges a stay for him in a sanitarium upstate. All right, I was trying to decide if that paragraph was a good place to stop or not, but I decided to read it. Perfect. All right, I think that pretty much encapsulates most of the plot where we need to be, because that covers like the first hour of the movie.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So let's just get into our notes. Did you keep some notes for this one?
I got a few notes here, yes.
All right, I got almost a full page of notes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had a lot to say about this film.
All right.
And I have a shitload of screenshots.
Ooh.
So I should maybe share my screen with you for that one. Cool. All right. Can you see this?
I can see it.
Cool. All righty. Okay, so my first note is that the title is the first title we see is Sean Connery.
Yep.
And the first image we see in the film is his face at 1 minute 24 seconds. So, and it's a still shot of him that eventually becomes pulls out, and it reveals that he is in bed pondering, thinking about his poem. And the first thing he does is try to hit his wife. Oh, he does hit her. Not his wife, his girlfriend. He does hit her, right? That's the first thing he does is hit her.
He misses. It's like it's a pillow. And
But either way, so much time. Oh, yes, because through the whole thing he's missing hitting her.
yeah,
That's
the
the
whole
great
thing.
gag at the end.
Ugh.
Whoop-de-doo. Oh, boy. Yeah. Folks, we put that warning at the beginning of every episode for a reason. And if you need to, please refer back to it, because this episode may be a little triggering. And if we're going to talk about this film, there's no way we can't talk about the things that go on in it,
Yeah.
because it's a bit problematic. This is a problematic film. Would you say this is our most problematic film yet?
Probably. I mean, all of them kind of had a little something. Not all of them, but this was probably up there. But more, too many free radicals. If I was to say that, there's more to this one than anything else.
Yeah. Would you say it's worse than Action of the Tiger?
Probably because more of him in it.
Yeah.
So at least he gets a little redeemed at the end of Tiger because of the boat entrance that we always talk about. Even that Connery's better than this Connery behavior-wise.
Yeah, this Connery literally gets no redemption because of the last thing he does in this movie is hit a woman.
Yeah.
Spoilers. I can't wait to see how the Wikipedia article is going to handle that. So, yeah, that's the first thing that happens, is he attempts to hit her for waking him up while he was already awake, but the words were almost there. Then I really like the layout of their apartment.
Yeah, I had a
That
note about
horseshoe
that.
shape.
Yeah, with the weird, like, that one window that connects and, like, you can put, like, a clothesline there. There's, like, kind
Yeah.
of trees in there. Like, what a weird design, but very interesting.
It must be either a horseshoe shape or like just a weird nook in the building. I don't know. Either way, it's really cool.
Yeah, because you think about, like, because you go outside to the front door and it's all, like, a wall and the stairs. So it's like, what's the point of that little area, little courtyard? It was only used for one scene when he's trying to race out of there because they're leaving.
Yeah.
And we get that nice shot of them talking from one side of the apartment to the other through the window.
That's the only time it's utilized. You see it in the beginning, and
Yeah.
as soon as I saw it in the beginning, I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." But
Yeah.
then they didn't utilize it until that scene where
The only other time they kind of utilize it in a way is differently when the cop like randomly shows up and then like what's her name? Rhoda like kind of
she's on the bed with the ankle,
like kind of kicks him out and she thinks that they're gone.
barks at him.
Yeah, barks at him and like shoos him off, and she thinks that they're gone and she can't get up because of her leg, obviously, and they're still fucking around on either side of the apartment searching for where his whereabouts are. So they utilize it a couple times, but like, yeah, it's very, very interesting layout for an apartment. I actually made a comment, 60s styles heart. I just love the like there was that one scene when you first meet the psychiatrist and his wife. Dr. West. So you meet Dr. West and see his kind of living situation where he's like, you could tell they're having marital problems, blah, blah, with the kids going nuts and the bus. But I just love the aesthetic of the apartment when they move on to the living room and he comes in. It's just beautiful. And like, I'm a big fan of like, I watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is takes place in the same years, like 60s, 70s. So it's like, I love that aesthetic of like 60s New York is the coolest.
Nicole and I watched the first season of that.
Mrs. Maisel?
Yeah. Well, we watched the first like 5 or 6 episodes. How many? It's like, I don't know. Either way, we didn't watch all of it, but we watched most of the first season. And then all of a sudden, I think we got up to like episode 5 or something. And then we get to episode 6 and we can't follow it at all. We have no idea what the fuck is happening in this show. And we watched the full episode, still completely confused, but like, okay, it's doing something here. What's it doing? Let's wait till the next episode to see what the deal is. And then we realized we had started episode 6 or whatever of season 2.
Oh.
We just skipped a shitload of episodes.
They're doing something creative here. Let's see what they're going for here. She looks 2 years older for some reason, but let's see what they're doing.
Why are they at a camp now or whatever?
Oh, that's a good season, the camp stuff. Shazam shows up in that season. Spoilers.
Oh, Zach Levy? Yes.
Zach Levi's in there. That's fantastic. And he looks like someone out of the 60s, which is kind of cool.
But yeah, I think as a whole we preferred Gilmore Girls.
Oh yeah, Gilmore Girls is dope. But I just like that, just the aesthetic. And,
oh yeah, it's a beautiful aesthetic.
Miss Maisel, she's just super attractive. Like every outfit she has on,
right.
I just love
like
that
polka dots and
that's my weakness. That's my weakness. But yeah, that's a fun show. But yeah, so going back to this, I love the aesthetic of everything and like this old school New York. Connery in New York, man, like this is awesome. Like, even like skipping kind of to the end, him just walking on like the Brooklyn Bridge. What is a cool shot?
Scene. And dancing and chucking his briefcase in the air.
Yeah, like
as if everything might not fall out and hit him on the head.
Yeah, right. But yeah, like this Connery in New York and in general was really cool, and kind of having a sort of New York accent under his Scottish accent, which was very interesting. I made a note of. Again, this is a Connery we have never seen before. It's insane.
007 in New York is a short story written by Ian Fleming, added at the end of the collection Octopussy and the Living Daylights.
Well, there we go. This is the live action 007 in New York.
Yeah. James Bond traveling as David Barlow. Dr. David Banner, physician, scientist. Mr. Barlow. Sorry. Also, before I started watching A Fine Madness, Nicole and I watched, because we've been watching Sex and the City.
Oh yeah.
And we're kind of obsessed with Kim Cattrall, and okay. we were reading her wiki and IMDb page, and we found out that she's in an episode of The Incredible Hulk. So
really?
I rented that from the library and watched it, and it turns out I had seen that episode before. It's called Kindred Spirits, and she plays like an archaeologist, and she recognizes Banner because he like came and taught at her school for a day or two.
Oh, here I just found a screenshot of it. I think. Oh my god, it's brilliant.
I'll stop sharing if you need me to. Go ahead if you want to share that.
Oh sure.
Yeah, he's on it. She and her boss are on an archaeological dig, and they find like remnants of a Hulk creature. So Banner comes and tries to.
Wait, why am I here?
Oh, at the IMDb. Yeah, it's awesome. It's the typical episode of the Hulk, but she knows who he is.
Damn.
So it adds a little more tension because he's supposed to be on the run.
I love
and
the
and
Hulk
every
show,
every episode he's got a different B name. He's always David B something. David B Good. No, it's like David Barlow or David Belton or David
Beckham.
Banyan or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's always... Yeah, David Beckham. James Bond traveling as David Barlow is going through customs and immigration at New York's Idlewild Airport. He has flown on BAOC's Monarch flight from London and estimates that the FBI or CIA will not detect him in the 24 hours he will be spending in New York. His mission is to warn a young woman who used to be a first-class staff officer for the Secret Service that the American authorities are getting close to finding out that she is cohabiting with a KGB agent. Oh shit, that's pretty good.
That's dope.
Yeah. I need to read that one. Okay, so yeah, Connery in New York is great. What do you think of Connery's hairpiece?
Yeah, it was slightly different, a little longer.
I think it looked like shit.
I thought it was
I'm
like...
pretty sure it was a hairpiece, right? That definitely was a hairpiece, right?
I think we confirmed. Didn't we confirm that he had a piece in Dr. No?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this has got to be... I'm looking at the picture of him. It's like him at the actual performing. He's at like Madcap night, and he's like doing poetry. You could tell the line there.
Thank you. Give it up for Tim Batty and Nate Cozzolino. I'm Samson Shillito. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, you could tell it's the hairline looks a little messed up for sure.
Yeah, it was Lego hair.
Lego hair.
You know, it looked like his "You Only Live Twice" wig. Like when he becomes Japanese. Oh, you just turn the lights on with your phone. Nice. Yes, I can change. Yes, I can change the color of my lights with my phone as well.
Oh, it's magic.
Look, I'll do it. What color you want me to change my lights to?
Blue.
Blue. Oh, yes. I'll do that right now. Blue. Look at that. I'm blue and abadee.
Beautiful.
Now listen up. Here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him, inside and outside. Blue his house, and a blue little window with a blue Corvette, and everything is blue for him, and himself, and everybody around, because he ain't got nobody to listen. I'm blue and abadee. Okay. What a great episode. What other notes do we have? Give me more of your notes.
I had like let's see. So I'll just read off all my notes for stuff we already had.
Yeah, for stuff we've covered.
First frame is Connery's eyebrows, so that's kind of cool. First thing we see. I had a small list of like his insults. The first word he says is he calls his girlfriend a granite head.
He's real mean to her.
He's mean to everybody. He goes outside and that old lady is like suntanning, and he says, "Have a nice sunstroke, Mrs. Agolini." And then he gets to work, and I laughed out loud because when the elevator doors open, that satellite is there, and my geeky ass thought that was a probe droid from Star Wars.
Dude. All right, I've got a note on that. All right, let me whittle my notes away to get to that because I have two others. It was hairpiece oof. That was my note.
Okay.
Hairpiece oof, and then banana steel. The way he just casually pinches the top of that banana and takes it. But then, at 6 minutes 18 seconds, droids, because you see the satellite, and then you see the vacuum with the soap tank, and thinking of Irvin Kershner as soon as I'm not gonna even attempt that voice, but as soon as the elevator opens up, I just thought RoboCop 1, RoboCop 2. The satellite is RoboCop 1, and the vacuum is RoboCop 2.
Yeah, I think the idea he had the soap machine and like a tank behind him, and it's like I'm just picturing him like he's taking those to like Tashi Station
to pick up some power.
To
pick up power converters.
I'm gonna pick up some power converters and I'm gonna sell these two droids to the Jawas. And that's how we got R5.
the Robot Chicken sketch that's like, Tashi Station is proud to present the power converters. It's a bunch of strippers.
Yeah, that's where Luke goes. I'm trying to pick up some powers converters. Genius. The Robot Chicken Star Wars is more genius than the actual movie. It's it's so good.
Well,
I quote it all
also,
the
when you
time.
think about it, they're like 15 years old at this point. So, like,
Yeah.
the Star Wars commentary has been around for so long at this point. Like, the jokes have all been made.
Yeah,
And-
but
and-
the way Robot Chicken took it to another level. Though.
Oh, it was the best.
To this day, every time I see like him put in a game or in some image, Yariel Poof is still my favorite Jedi.
In the shop it is.
When I was Yaddle, it's like him. It's like I got. It's like get lunch. We should Yariel Poof should get pizzas, and then he's like, but I got the coffee yesterday, yet to be reimbursed. And it's like, yeah,
He
what
shows
happened?
up with the pizza and they're all dead.
But he's like hot dogging in the seats, like, oh, master of everything I am. And then he shows up later. He's working on the Death Star in a cafeteria
Yeah, and Vader shows up.
with Palpatine. He's like, wait a second. I sense a disturbance here.
You
didn't
give me
get
enough
any
mashed
crackers.
potatoes.
No, you didn't get us any crackers. He's
So
getting the
good.
soup. He's like, oh, ladle. That's a funny word. Yeah, ladle. Oh, I love the Robot Chicken Star Wars.
Yeah,
You
those
get
are
us any
great. And the Family
crackers.
Guy ones are pretty good, too.
Oh yeah, those are good too. But too good. But yeah, a lot of droids around this office.
Yes.
The only other note I had about I had our first Bond moment. He says Longfellow, Hank Longfellow.
Yep, I wrote that as well.
I need your name for our records.
Longfellow. Hank Longfellow.
I'm Miss Walnicki.
Aye.
Why did you call me Pouty Mouth?
And that had to be because he was still playing Bond. It had to be.
It was like a little nod.
I guarantee it was Irvin Kershner going, do your Bond thing.
Exactly. And then I said the only last thing I said about the office scene was his mouth doesn't move at one point when they're giving him dialogue, and it's really bad.
Yeah, the ADR.
Yeah.
Let's just discuss the ADR now.
It's
It
just-
is
that's the one-
horrendous in this
Like,
film.
like it was bad as it is, but seeing him at one point, he's like walking around the satellite. And he's like, before he's like, you know how many stars there are, whatever the hell he's doing. He's clearly talking, and he's like just walking around the satellite, and his mouth is not moving. They didn't even try.
And also during that scene, he says, "Watch your step, pouty mouth."
Watch your step, pouty mouth. Stars are fragile stuff.
So, do you know who this woman is? In the scene that the secretary that he sleeps with while the suds machine is going off.
Yeah, who is that?
That is Aunt Esther from the film UHF.
Really?
Yep, that is Sue Ann Langdon. Yep, when you go to her wiki, UHF, best known as Aunt Esther from UHF.
That's insane.
Yeah,
She got on with Connery. That's dope.
everyone gets on with Connery in this
Man,
movie.
Connery is
He's a player in this
hound
film.
dog, brother. I was kind of like, so I really analyzed that. Like, okay, so like, not that it's like any better, but I was like, so Rhoda is just a girlfriend, not a wife.
No.
So it's kind of like, okay, he's not just like openly like cheating on his wife and just.
But he's
like,
openly cheating on his girlfriend.
Yeah,
and is
so
very
which is-
supportive of him.
Yeah, so it's just like really like kind of getting out of the way now. I'm in no way sympathetic of this Connery at all.
No, he is our hero of this movie, and I do not like him.
Yeah, he's just a sleazebag. He's like hilarious at times. Like this sequence of like him escaping the office situation is hilarious. He kind
How
of jumps into the
she-
suds. Well, yeah,
like,
she freaks out.
But also, okay, this movie is all bad actions by men, but I will say her action in that scene is not cool. She consensually slept with him in the scene. Like, she was clearly turned on by his being such an asshole and mean, and she consensually slept with him. and then she like ends the scene by pretending that he assaulted her. Not cool.
Yeah.
However, there's a shitload of actual assault in this film, so I'm not saying that her action kind of pales in comparison to all the other violence in this movie, but it's still not cool. Not cool.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I wouldn't want that to happen to me if I was in that kind of situation.
Exactly.
Granted, I probably wouldn't be doing that kind of job and put myself in that exact situation, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
To get out of the uncomfortable talk now, did you fully expect him to jump into the bubbles and disappear?
Yes. Like Batman. I wanted them to...
But like a magician.
Yeah. Yeah, I want him to be in the bubbles, and then like someone goes to like tackle him, and he's just gone. Where'd he go? And he shows up in like a bathtub somewhere. He travels via the sewer system or something. Just insanity, man.
Oh my
God. But still, the escape is hilarious as it is, because he just goes into the bubbles and just pushes the machines like, excuse me, and just walks his way out. Which he had a lot of crazy escape scenes in this movie.
On that sequence as well, the cleaning tank as it begins to like over flood sounds like Darth Vader. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, I had to.
But it's also like sex noises.
And it was like opening and closing.
Yeah, it's clearly like a visual representation of sex.
Yeah, just pumping
and an audio representation of sex. But it sounds like Darth Vader having sex or jerking off or something.
That's the thing, man. I was like, what? I was really like curious if they actually were doing it, because this seemed like she was like naked and he was in his full like carpet like jumpsuit still.
Like it's gotta fly, Mario.
It was zipped all the way up.
It's gotta fly.
Yeah, but he never zipped it up.
I don't know. I have to rewatch that sequence.
I paid attention clearly. I was like, why is he clothed?
I gotta tell this because every time I think of the word fly in regards to like a pant zipper. So I ordered a pair of underwear once, and it was like it was a business that was like starting up, and they wanted people to try their underwear and give feedback of it. And the pair that they sent me, or the one that I chose, I didn't realize that it didn't have a fly, but it was very, very comfortable.
Okay.
And I had to give feedback on it, and I didn't know how to I completely forgot the word fly, and I don't remember what exactly I said, but I didn't come. But I basically stopped so short of saying like, they're really great, but I just wish they had a dick hole. Like, I forget what I said, but it was basically that. And they said, oh, would you like a pair with a fly? And I'm like, oh, fly!
Fly, you fools!
Oh, you Haynes needs to do a commercial. It's like, now with double the size dick holes.
for extra girth. Are you tired of pulling down your pants every time you have to pee because your dick is too big? Haynes knows. Fruit of the Loom knows.
Excuse me, mister. Your dick hole is open.
It's the Fruit of the Loom commercial where they're all dressed as the fruit, right? But now a new character comes in and it's Eggplant. Now with bigger dick holes.
With bigger eggs. You could fit an eggplant through it.
Also, I think that's the limit. One should gauge their ears or nose or whatever holes that they gauge.
Yes.
I think that's the limit one should gauge. That once you can fit a penis through it, you shouldn't go any bigger.
I thought you were going to say an eggplant because I know people who have eggplant-sized gauges.
Oh my God! Well, yeah. That once you can put a penis through it, you shouldn't go any bigger. Anyway, not knocking anyone with beautiful gauges out there.
Yes. Sometimes enough's enough. Sometimes.
Okay, I've got more. Roger Moore. Did I not? Okay, so there's when it comes to this scene in the office where they of the company that supplies parts to build these space probes. It starts with a picture of the moon, and it's all up on the walls, right? All the stars and the moon and whatnot.
Yeah.
And Connery goes, "You mean this is going to conquer all that?" And I just imagine that when Irvin behind the camera in his brain just went, "Star Wars."
I wonder if you ever considered putting Connery in Star Wars.
Now hear me out, George. For the sequel to your film, I think Sean Connery as Obi-Wan 2.
Obi-2.
Obi-2.
Honestly, if he was like the bartender at the cantina or something, it would have been hilarious.
And I'm in the Christmas special. You thought that was Roger Corman. It's me. Is that Roger Corman
I don't know.
in the Christmas special?
Look
Oh,
that up.
I gotta give that a googs. Roger Corman, Star Wars. Wait, what? Battle Beyond the Stars? What is this? Huh. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll get into that. 1980 American space opera film produced by Roger Corman. That's not who I was thinking of. Anyway, write in and tell me who it was in the Star Wars Christmas special that was the bartender. Or was it B. Arthur? Was that the bartender?
B. Arthur?
I think it was B. Arthur. Wait a second. All right, hold on. Star Wars Xmas special. Thanks for joining me on this episode of A Fine Madness. B. Arthur as Akmina. Art Carney as traitor Son Dan. Harvey Korman, that's who it is.
Okay, there we go.
Harvey Korman as Krellman, Chef Gourmanda, a Morphian instructor. Patty Maloney as Lumpy. Paul Gale as Itchy. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mario. Okay, what other screenshots and notes have I? This one here that I've got. Mr. Shillito, I've got a subpoena, Mr. Shillito. This is one of the lines of ADR. Punch that in.
How about 300?
Mr. Shillito! Mr. Shillito!
I'll take it.
Got a subpoena! Mr. Shillito!
The man is chasing him for the alimony, right? And he says, Mr. Shillito, I've got a subpoena. But before he has even finished that sentence, he is saying, Mr. Shillito. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The ADR in this film is nuts. What else you got, friend?
Let's see. I made a reference that's more of a local reference. The diner that Rhoda works at looks a lot like New York System Wieners in Providence.
It does.
I like the menu in the back. I'm like, that looks like New York System. Like, it's crazy.
Let's go get a hot dog.
Yeah, I haven't had one of those in a while. That was so good. So good.
Let's go get a hot dog.
What's that?
Let's go get a hot dog.
Let's go get a hot dog. Let's
Anyway.
see. I also I don't have anything else up until the poetry reading, so I'll save my notes for then.
Okay, well, my next screenshot here is from the poetry reading. Look at that woman's glasses. They're insane.
There's a lot
Insane.
of they're like upside down. Like, that's insane. Like,
Yeah.
that was like speaking of glasses.
arms go down.
Yeah, that's insane. Speaking of glasses, there was that scientist guy at the end with the really crazy, like, you flip them
The
up.
flip up glasses. All right, let's talk about that scientist man. Do you know who that was?
He looked very familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
That is somebody that Irvin Kershner would call upon again in 14 years. His name is Clive Revel. I guess let me skip forward in my screenshots here because I've got. Okay, this is Clive Revel. He looks like Matt Brown in 40 years.
Shout out to Matt Brown.
Hey, Matt Brown. Hope you're listening, bud. Now, I think this is significant for a few reasons. We've got Clive Revel here as Dr. Mencken next to a chimpanzee, and then right below, next to a skull with a set of fake eyes in it. Do you realize what these three elements are? What we have here in this scene? Or better yet, I'm going to present you with a little math problem. These three elements, how do they add up? Not a math problem. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say, Mario. These edibles are kicking it. How do these three elements add up to The Empire Strikes Back?
Is he the Emperor?
Yep.
Really?
Yes. So, Clive Revel is the voice. It is a woman's face and the eyes of a chimpanzee. Those are the three elements that make up the Emperor.
Wait, they gave him chimp eyes?
Yep. It's a woman's face in heavy makeup, or is it a chimp's face with woman's eyes? Look it up for me. Give it a googs, because I got these pulled up. You give it a googs. That's the original Emperor from The Empire Strikes Back. The most terrifying one. Way more terrifying than Palpatine. Than Ian McDermott as Palpatine. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Granted, I love Ian McDermott, and boy, he's genuinely terrifying. He's genuinely terrifying. But the Emperor from the original release of Empire Strikes Back is nightmare material.
Oh, so they didn't put. I always assumed it was Ian.
No. Here, hold on. I'll pull it up here.
So the Palpatine we see in Empire nowadays is not the same one.
No. Do you know what I refer? This is the Emperor from.
Oh, yeah. So I remember that from the hologram. Okay.
Yes. So it's a woman's face, a chimpanzee eyes, and Clive Revel's voice.
Oh,
that is
snap.
like one of the most terrifying images. Like, tell me that is less terrifying. That like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Palpatine is Ian McDermott as Palpatine is creepy, but the original Emperor, good lord.
Oh, yeah, look at that clay picture on the left. You got a better look at it. Look at that.
Yeah.
They kind of went with the same design, but definitely the eyes were a little less insane.
Yeah, they reduced the eyes, but good God, with those chimp eyes.
That's fascinating, man.
Whoa.
Whoa. Now that's terrifying.
Yeah. Anyway, so isn't that crazy that the three elements in this scene add up to create the Emperor?
Did he see this and he was like, this could work?
Irvin was watching like, I like this Clive guy. I think I'll keep him. He's got a creepy voice. I'll keep.
It's like, do we still have that monkey from that scene that we shot in the lab? I think we should take him, use his eyes to make us evil space lord.
I'm just gonna bring it up that the podcast, the great podcast. I was there too. There is an episode with Clive Revel.
Really?
And it's a delightful episode. Because he's an older gentleman, and he is very dramatic and a delight to listen to. Very ASMR inducing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I have another Star Wars reference.
Do it up. I'm sure there'll be many in this.
The woman that shows up at the when they're at the, what do you call it? What was that? Like a woman's club? I forgot what it was. Where he read the poetry.
Oh yes, the women's club.
It was like a woman's club. Yeah, it was like Madcap or something.
A woman's group.
A woman's group. I made
It was
a comment.
Madcap.
The large woman that we see at one point where she stands up, she's like, "I'm a mother too," or whatever.
Yes, with the veil going down to her nose.
Yeah,
Like being held on by her nose.
yeah, but I don't know why, but she gave me Bib Fortuna vibes.
Yes. And Bib Fortuna from Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's what exactly the big
Yeah.
one. That's what I was like.
Big Fortuna.
Big Fortuna. So I was like, what? I was like, she looks like a creature from Star Wars, but what is it? I'm like, I don't want to say the obvious, like Jabba the Hutt, because that's mean. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
No, better, fat Bib Fortuna,
Better.
a little better. I love Bib Fortuna.
Go from just being a general gross space slug to his weird, definitely pedophile assistant.
Oh yeah, he was weird with.
He's
with
trying
R2.
to like fuck R2. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
it was like doing the weird thing with his
brush your
hands.
hair. Yes.
Yeah, he's like, oh yes, Jabba no Bata.
Biden Fortuna, and he goes down and like sniffs R2's hair.
Biden Fortuna. Oh, that I gotta Photoshop Joe Biden on Bib Fortuna.
Bid Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna. But anyways, yeah, that's my...
there's a couple of Star Wars notes here. At 29:15, there is an Ewok horn in the music. When I think I have a screenshot of it here. When Rhoda is leaving the diner, and the owner of the diner is mad at her for doing that. Yeah, at 29 minutes in the movie, she has to leave her job at the diner, and the boss is chasing after her. Forgive the ramble. But the horn starts playing. The score is playing, but the horn is the Ewok horn from Return of the Jedi.
Two goulash, hold the corn. Easy on the mayo.
What are you doing? Rhoda, where you going? Rhoda!
That was like the kind of music around NB. You know what it gave me vibes of? We talked about this last time off mic because you had gotten the Herbie collection.
Yes.
It's like a 60s Disney movie. It's
yes, it really is.
Just that kind of goofy music. They really want to lay on the comedy, which I mean, yeah, I ended up laughing. I thought it was a hilarious movie. But
music by John Addison, who we will see again in a bridge, or hear. Excuse me, we will hear again in A Bridge Too Far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did he do any Disney movies? Or something like animated or like kiddie, or it's just the music's very reminiscent of that to me.
Oh, he does the music. He's the conductor of the music at Guns at Patazi, which we were suggested by one of our listeners.
Oh.
No, it looks like he did a lot of music for adult sexy films. A Taste of Honey, Go to Blazes, Tom Jones, Girl with Green Eyes, The Loved One, The Uncle. That sounds gross. The Honey Pot, Smashing Time. Start the Revolution Without Me, Brotherly Love.
Smashing Time. And we going down a smashing time.
Bo, 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 bo. Yeah.
With all the factories down. I don't know.
So yeah, that's stuff that he's done the music on. Composer. Wow, 98 different composer.
But speaking of
credits. Sorry, we don't need to go through all those. Continue.
Speaking of Rhoda leaving and going to go like help out
Rhoda Island.
Rhoda Island, right?
That's where she's going.
New York System Wieners leaving Rhoda Island. I wrote a note here.
understand all your local Providence references.
I was there when Benny's was there.
Ah, yes, Benny's the best store. Now it's just what Family Dollar or something bullshit.
Yes.
Or no, Dollar General.
Or Job Lot.
Oh, I'll take an Ocean State Job Lot any day.
You know Job Lot's on TikTok now?
I believe it. You got to do what you got to do to survive as a business.
You got to do what you got to do.
Ah, yes, Mr. Lemon.
Oh, you're
God
a Mr.
bless,
Lemon guy?
Bless the... Are you not a Mr. Lemon guy? What are you, a Dells guy? You like Dells, that bullshit with seeds? Full of seeds and pulp? Who wants that in their lemony drink?
I usually go for the watermelon flavor. They don't put any lemons in there.
Okay, well, I don't want to choke to death. Have you ever had a Mr. Lemon?
Oh, of course.
Okay, well, they're only open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays now because they're getting a little bit up in the ages.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I go to Dell's. They're everywhere.
Well, yes, but you know what, Mr. Lemon? Can't be beat. Dell's can suck a
lemon.
A fine madness. Nah, I'm Mr. Lemon all the way. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
I can rewind the podcast. Oh, Rhoda leaves the diner. When Rhoda leaves the diner.
I wrote,
You Rhoda.
I wrote a letter. The envelope sticking in. I said, "Oh, get yourself a girl like Rhoda, because she just is super supportive."
A girl you can beat up all the time?
Well, that too. But no, like she just dropped her shift to go help this fucking idiot that's like
she
fucked up.
She loves him so much.
Yeah, like
it's because she can see how talented he is.
And she believes him, and like he's doing all this freaking gross shit and all that. It's like, man, it sucks. But I was like, get yourself a lady like Rhoda, because she is awesome.
Yeah, she is a real, very, very tolerant woman. Clearly recognizes the absolute artistic genius that Shillito is capable of. And through that, through the commitment to the genius, as a creative in a relationship, I can understand that when you just have so much faith in the creativity of the other person that you're willing to let other things overcome that. I don't know, like you're willing to tolerate a lot because you know how talented the person is and how worth it is to get that talent out, you know? Like, I'll tolerate the bullshit because I'm not me directly, but like she'll tolerate the bullshit because she knows he is a genius poet and they will be well off one day because of his poetry if she supports him because she has faith in him. So yeah, definitely get yourself a woman like Rhoda and don't ever hit her. So
don't even pretend to miss either. Just
no.
Be cool, man.
It took me a little bit to realize it was a bit that he was doing.
Yeah, I kind of noticed. I'm like, man, he's not landing any of these punches. So I'm like, maybe it's like a.
Thank God.
Yeah, so I was like, I kept thinking, is it gonna? Are they gonna like sell this? Like, is this gonna be a build and we're actually gonna get a shot in? I thought they were gonna use that as like a device to kind of be like, oh, like where he realizes he's a piece of shit or something. Because because we kind of get that when she falls down the stairs.
Oh, that was horrible.
And so,
and then the instant flip where he's like, "Are you okay? Are you like?" Sorry, continue.
So yeah, I thought that was kind of a device to be like, "Oh, hey, he's seeing his ways here," but they use it as like a weird bit at the end where he just like lays one on her, and I was like, I remember just like nervously laughing because I was kind of like that was so unexpected and like
And
ridiculous.
she literally asks for it.
Yeah,
She literally asks him to punch her.
yeah, it's like, come on, give me one right here, and he does it. He's like, he looks at his hand like, I was supposed to miss.
That was so weird. Yeah, we're jumping ahead a bit, but yeah, that was the weirdest running bit and also way to end the movie. Like, but also, like, have seen behavior like this in my life where it's like, I never saw physical abuse in my household growing up, thankfully, but that kind of behavior of like, I did something horrible to you, and then the instant afterwards, like, oh, I'm so sorry, but that doesn't change the fact that you're gonna do it again. He is an awful person.
So like, let me just read. I didn't notice this till like today when I was looking at like the poster, because you know me, I like to look at my posters.
I like that poster.
Yeah, but did you read the poster? I'm gonna read it to
No.
you.
Read it to me. Is this
So
the
it's
text next to his leg?
So there, it's all over. So it's like it's him with all the girls kind of on him and stuff, and he's like running around like.
Here, share your screen with me so I can see.
Let's see. So let me see it first. Hold on. Save. So I can zoom in on it and stuff.
Because I'm just here on the wiki. And
Wiki.
Wikipedia.
All right, can you see this?
I can.
All right. Sean Connery loses his marbles over Joanne Woodward, Jean Seberg, and a few other lovely chicks in A Fine Madness. We should all be so crazy. And the next one's like says, anytime, any place, any game, Samson Shillito can outfox them all. So it's advertised that he's a piece of shit.
But also, he's our hero. Like, we should all be so crazy. Like, he's supposed to be the one we're rooting for.
Yeah, he's
like look at this lovable scamp. Like, honestly, that's how this is played, because this is the mindset of it. Like, trigger warning, there is an attempted rape in this movie, and it's played for light. You know? So my note on that is rape shtick.
Rape shtick.
Like, we'll get to it. But yeah, he's a bastard in this movie. And I think that poster is really kind of presenting it like he's our hero. Because you're coming for Connery. Hey. But you're that's the draw to the movie. You know what I mean? That's why people are going to this movie, to see Connery.
It's kind of that like that Archie Bunker mentality, or like what's the other one from Married with Children, Bundy or something like that. Ed Bundy,
not Ted Bundy. Al Bundy.
Al Bundy. It's that kind of like, you know,
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy in a sitcom would be hilarious.
I tell you, that sitcom would just kill.
Yeah, kill again. But yeah, it's kind of like that, like macho
man, like, Randy Savage.
This is macho man, Randy Savage. Never hit a woman. Yeah.
Macho man, Dandelion.
Dandelion. Yeah.
Also never hit a woman. but less women than you. Because Nacho Man Dandelion is a better man than Macho Man Randy Lion.
Yeah. Doing Slim Jim. So yeah, it's definitely that kind of, unfortunately, this is how like your everyday guy was. Just like that kind of like hopeless and trying to fuck women and like, you know, beat them up and like get on and like try to survive and be like,
it's played very much as a lovable scamp.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he could be just you could be just like him, guys. It's okay. Like, not like it's okay, but he's a loser in this movie.
He is.
He wins with the amount of action that he gets, but he's a loser. Like, he can't pay his bills. He's assaulting people all the time. He can't hold a job. Yeah. It's interesting seeing Connery playing like a deliberate scumbag as opposed to a villain. Like, because he's supposed to be our hero in this movie. You know, he's our perspective character. So we're going through his shoes. But yeah, Joanne Woodward as Rhoda was great. She, I got some.
Her,
you leave him alone, you silly bitches. You let go of him. And then I loved the term she kept using. Fink, calling people fink. And then this frame right here. He didn't recite a single poem. Everything he says is a poem. That is her dedication to him.
Seriously.
Yeah. So,
I will say her accent got very confusing sometimes.
Yes. I agree with that.
Because, like, yeah, you're going for, like, that kind of, like, you know, that Brooklyn accent, kind of like, you know, kind of Jersey. It's very, like, oh, come on, Tom, like, all this, blah, blah, blah. But, like, then it would get, like, really weird and, like, is she like, British?
She's from Georgia.
From Georgia.
Yeah.
It was, something I was kind of, like, I was thinking, like, is she, like, English trying to be American? You know?
No, I think she's from Georgia trying to do a New York accent.
So
I'm not sure. Hold on. Joanne Woodward. Still alive. 93. Yeah, born in Georgia. Yeah. And South Carolina and Louisiana. So, yeah, she's from the South.
Interesting.
Wow, married to Paul Newman.
Really?
Yeah. Wow, only married to Paul Newman. That's it.
That's insane.
Wow, from 58 to 2008. Wow. 50 years. Damn. But yeah, she was great. And very funny. What else do I have on her? Yeah, she says "fink" a lot, and that it gets ADR'd a lot, as well. Okay. I made a note that Shillito feels like my dad.
Really?
Yeah, I got very much vibes of my own father from him at points. Having had a pair of divorced parents that, you know, the father had to pay alimony. So, anyway, Flip Me, the kid being flipped by Dr. West.
That was like a Spider-Man flip. I was like, that was insane.
Did that not take you back to your childhood, though?
It did, yeah. Just kind of flip me.
And that flip was so cool. Like, he puts his arms underneath, like, puts his arms through his legs behind him, and the dad grabs the arms and flips them. Wow. I'd be afraid my arms would get ripped off. And then the saddest thing is that the daughter comes up after his daddy flipped me, and he just, like, tussles her hair.
Yeah, it's like, you're a girl, you can't be flipped.
Yeah. I really like the intertwining of the plot. Where she turns on the TV. Rhoda turns on the TV at the gym, sees the doctor. It cuts to the doctor listening to the same television broadcast on the radio in his own home, and then you see that you see the family, and that the wife is unhappy and whatnot. And then when you see the wife at the woman's group, as soon as I saw her there, I'm like, that's the plot intertwining. This is really good. couldn't catch the harp piece on Shazam at 22 minutes. I need to go in and get that. Find out what that is, if that's real or if that was just something that was being played on the day. Because it was gorgeous. And on the subject of the harpist, look at them eyebrows, son.
Oh, his eyebrows are bananas.
He's just wearing a full mustache on his eyebrows. Okay, what else we got? She pleads with Dr. West to take Samson. That was heartbreaking. It's like I haven't cried since I was 3. And I'm crying right now. Please take my husband as a patient. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah. I did like that whole sequence though of them walking through the city.
Oh yeah.
And like just seeing all those like, different New York staples just around there, and like she's just trying, and like and some okay ADR there. Like with the voice, because obviously that's back then that was tough to handle. You couldn't have like boom mics and stuff around like a busy city like that.
Yeah.
So I thought right there ADR was okay.
And because you just want her to be able to help her husband so bad, you like really follow her through that. So you just want Doc, please just stop and take her. Just listen to her for a second, Yeah, that was a good scene. My next screenshot here is from when Shillito breaks into his office.
And guess who walks in, man? This blew my mind.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You cover that.
So, actor walks in by the name of Sorrel Book. Sorrel Book plays Leonard Tupperman. His wife is a patient at the office, and he barges in to see Connery there.
Dr. West?
He's not here.
When's he expected?
What time's your appointment?
I don't have one yet.
You gotta have an appointment.
Early in the morning when the office is closed, so Connery is still at the office writing. Dr. West lets Connery use his office overnight to write, which I thought was very kind.
And sure enough, this actor was Sorrel Book, Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard. He looked like I didn't even. I
Nothing
see
like him.
I see it now that I go back because I saw it. I'm like, where was Boss Hogg? I didn't see him in the movie, and he was. Sorrel Book is a crazy actor, man. He could speak like a bunch of languages, like including Japanese.
Really?
And like he was a really good actor. So like I think he's like English or something. I forget if he was English or not. But very good actor. So didn't even know it was him. That was insane.
Sorrel Book was an American actor.
He was American. Okay.
Yeah, born in New York.
Okay.
Best known as Boss Hogg in Dukes of Hazzard. Quick note. Look at his Wikipedia picture.
What is that?
I don't know, but he looks like Eric Wareheim. Tim and Eric.
I want that as an album cover.
Right? Oh my gosh, that's really good. My eyes are bugging out. What else do we have? Wine swap. I loved that moment at the women's meeting where Connery is just getting absolutely plastered, and he runs out of wine, and so he just takes the wine next to him and swaps out the empty bottle.
It was very Blues Brothers.
Yes,
like that dinner scene in Blues Brothers where they're just like making a ruckus, and it's so funny. Of like just like I had a note somewhere. I made a Daredevil joke because it seemed like his senses were getting better because when he was drunk, he was like looking around and he could hear people like farting and stuff and like coughing and whatever. And it's like he's like Daredevil. He can just hear everything around him. Like, what was in that wine?
Yeah, I noticed a little bit of the sound effects kicking in there as well.
Yeah, like of random people like showing that they're bored too or something, and like
Oh, I liked that. The woman was falling asleep and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
He's not the only one bored as shit. And also, as the piece is playing, there's like 6 times where it resolves on the key note on the key. Excuse me, the root. Excuse me, I'm a musician. What's going on? It resolves on the root, and then it just does like a flourish, and then kind of drips back down again, and you're like, oh, okay, it's over now. And then it flourishes again, and like it's almost like Zucker levels, but not quite.
Yeah.
And then they say that the harp is like, all right, everyone, thank you very much, Mr. Jericho. And then I wanted him to sit back down on the harp and be, talk is Jericho, baby, harp is me. Boy, I haven't listened to Talk is Jericho in a long time. At 26 minutes, when he begins to read his poetry, the Connery rap, I want to take that and set it to a beat. Punch that in here.
What's wrong with a poem to mothers? I happen to be a mother.
Briar, briar, Limberlock, 12 geese in a flock. The old ones ride the young ones' backs, and they can't get over the chimney stacks.
What's that supposed to mean?
They may stop passing the buck to babies.
It's nice hearing Connery rhyme. But yeah, when he's broken into the office here, I love when Leon, what's his name again? Leonard Tubman?
Leonard Tupperman.
Leonard Tupperman. He comes into the office here. Do you have an appointment? I don't have one. You gotta have an appointment. So quick. It's beautiful.
Yeah, he's just really selling it.
I really like The Office. And then there's this shot of the office with the papers littered all over the floor. And there, I believe, is an ashtray.
Yeah, with all the cigars. At first, I thought it was like a bunch of sausages.
I thought it was a tray of poop. Like little dog poop or something.
It was his poop. He's been in there so long, he didn't bother to use the bathroom because there was broken glass all over it. He's like, well, I better poop on his plate then.
And it's like, it looks like there's like a brown smudge. Like, it doesn't look like a design in the ashtray.
I think it's
like
just the ashes in the.
Yeah. And then it's revealed that so Mr. Tupperman is there to find out why the therapy isn't going well for his wife, and Shillito, having already pilfered all the documents, gone through all the documents in Dr. West's office, shows him, oh, well, your wife is cheating on you. And then when Connery comes outside, it's revealed that the wife had slept with him, with Shillito. That was a great reveal, which leads to this great line by the kid. I know who that was. He shampooed our carpets. That was a great moment.
So good.
My next note was Ewok horn. Am I wrong? I believed in The Rock that John Mason said he wanted to be a poet.
Say that again?
In The Rock?
Yeah.
I believe that John Mason says that he would rather have been a poet.
Oh, that's right.
Right? But I don't think it would have gone that well for him, as indicated by this movie.
That's true.
I want to cut any of those gym scenes with Rocky. When he assaults the officer of the law, he is in the back of the gym, sleeping on the bench. The bench slide that he does is the coolest thing in the world. You know what I'm referring to?
I think so. Do you have a screenshot for it?
I don't have a screenshot.
Oh, yes, the slide.
Wow, so cool. He just barely gets away. But, and then when he gets home, the amount of panic, you've finished Breaking Bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is the moment from Ozymandias where Walt breaks in and he arrives home after, the Nazis have done their thing. And Juniors go, "You killed Uncle Hank."
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that just reminded me of that scene where he's just desperately trying to get her to pack up so they can leave. What other notes have I? What other notes have you, my friend?
Let's see. They're kind of sporadic. I had a note about Dr. West. There was that one scene where he like threatened him with karate. When they're in the office still, right?
Yes.
He says he's really good at karate. He does like the Don Knotts classic karate pose where he just kind of does two chops like this. Yeah. He's like, I'm good at, like, if you watch any Don Knotts movie, he always does that. It's just like he did it. I remember he did it in Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo.
That one.
And he does. That's his signature move, which is like he just snaps into position, and when he's in a fight scene, and it's hilarious. So I did Dr. Oliver West as a great Don Knotts pose.
Now when he does that, Shillito backs off. I think he reads. He's like, "You actually probably do know karate. You're a doctor. You probably spend time working on yourself. You probably know karate." And I had another door hold. This moment in between the bench slide and the coming back to the apartment. How he gets the three dudes at the gym to just hold the door closed for him. And
that was so
just reading
funny.
The newspaper.
They're like, we do this every fucking week.
Right. Oh, Samson. And the score is really interesting in this movie. I wrote that at one point, score, heart, and then my exact next note is, now I don't like the score. Because it's kind of up and down. There's some really good moments of music in it, and then there's some really not great music. And also that the doctor's office is like a Bond villain lair.
Yes.
With stuff on the walls and interesting bookcase designs and like the carpeted steps and that lighting on the wall. Look at that graded lighting.
Yeah, it looked very... I mean, there was kind of an office in You Only Live Twice that looked very similar, kind of with that wood... like that, not even wood paneling. It's kind of a solid piece of wood on the wall there.
And this is right between Thunderball and You Only Live Twice as well. So...
Same set, perhaps.
same style, like cultural, architectural feel. Like maybe something that was in the architectural waters of the time. Yeah. I really like the 10 p.m. office scene. The first session is really good. Their chemistry between Patrick O'Neill and Sean Connery is really good. They're good actors playing off.
Yeah, I did like that scene of like, and make sure you give me back my $200. It's like it's $190 now. You just had your first session. I love that line. You just had your first session.
I really like. So to continue the Tupperman story, he freaks out when he finds that his wife has been cheating on him, and it's like possibly due to husband's lack of virility, and he's like, lack of virility, and he gets all angry and he tries to tear up the tape, but he can't do it, and he just like starts stomping on it, and then he has like a heart,
like a heart attack,
like, not a heart attack, but like clearly an event where he needs to lay down. That was a funny sequence. Just seeing a small man get upset that they're being called weak is very humorous.
That tape recorder was bananas, by the way, with like
like the blue tape that you slide into it.
But then it had like that weird microphone kind of thing.
Yeah,
because I think he was listening to you. He was also talking into when he recorded earlier. So it's like I've never seen one like that. It was very.
Did you think that Tupperman was going to smash it?
Something, yeah. I thought he was going to like destroy the office or something and like make it like worse because like that would have been a good gag. I mean, he definitely did leave it a mess still with the papers on the floor. But I thought like he was.
Well, that was Shillito.
Yeah, but I thought he was gonna make a mess or something, and this destroy the office and go ham, and then they go out, and then it gets identified that they know each other, and then Connery's on the move again.
That was so funny.
It was.
When he gets to the car and realizes, oh no, I slept with her. So funny.
Yeah, it's just like he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time for everything. It's hilarious.
Also, that actress, Zora Lampert, is gorgeous. This is she.
She is drop dead gorgeous.
Absolutely stunning. Yeah, very, very funny. And she's just bawling her eyes out. The whole scene is just her bawling her eyes out. And then just screaming when she realizes, oh my God, it's him.
Ugh.
That was very funny. Need a drink of water here. You take over.
Let's see. That whole like when they get to the sort of institution towards the end.
The Thunderball Spa?
Yeah, the Thunderball Spa.
Shrublands, that's what it's called.
Shrublands. That ripple bath scene with the crazy Connery laugh and him like just doing flips.
The sort of the Valiant laugh.
Yeah, it was like it was really like a younger sort of Valiant laugh.
Also
like,
80 yard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it cuts in and out.
Wee.
Can we talk about that ripple tub?
It was insane. Like how
on fucking springs.
Yeah.
It's on spring. It's a hot tub on springs.
And they were like,
what?
And they were like doing it and like
a mechanical bull.
Yeah, and she was like under the water and shit. And they were like supposedly doing it, but like also he was like just doing flips in the water,
bouncing up like a fucking breaching dolphin.
So wee
and spitting out the water.
Yeah,
I definitely got a screenshot of that. Where is it? And it's like shaped like a dog bone cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Or a penis cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's like a penis. It's a giant penis cookie cutter. Or Mickey Mouse. It could be Mickey Mouse.
Frankly, too many wires and electric dials next to it.
Yeah, like look at all the buttons. Like that looks like
there's 2 wires on the tub.
Like that was the device that like Sean Connery had to turn off in Dr. No, like on the right there.
Right?
Like just him breaching is so funny. That should have been
breaching.
That should have been the scene when they're taking the shower in Dr. No. And they go down. This is where they go after to rinse off
to get the radiation off. Oh my God! Still has some radiation left under the fingernails. Back in.
Yeah, they put him into this different tub to get it off his. Like now jump around like a dolphin for 10 minutes.
Oh my God! And here when he turns it on. He like cranks a dial and then hits the machine.
It's like it's like Han Solo trying to turn the Falcon on.
Yeah, or Fonz turning on the jukebox. So I was thinking to put music to this scene where he like he turns the dial and the music turns on, but it's like fuzzy and kind of out of focus, and he hits the machine and the music comes in nice and clear.
It's like a jukebox.
Exactly.
Sunday, Monday, happy days.
It's a perfect little like 4-second clip. You can put music to it.
You could absolutely.
I
said,
don't know if I'd want to go in that tub. Also, this shot makes it look like there's fucking stand mixers in the tub, like it's mixing dough.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you had this screenshot. What's so fascinating? Nothing to rip about that was curious. I said I was curious too. Connery curious.
Connery curious. That's why I took this screenshot.
I wish that he said curious in something. We need to have him actually say curious.
I'm sure we'll get it in one of these films. We're bound to. I love this. Yes, the man's obviously not successful with women.
Then you cut to this. That should have been the cut. Like he's obviously not successful with women, and it cuts to him. Like,
but it's afterwards when Dr. has already discovered that.
I wish it was before.
Okay, what I've skipped ahead in my screenshots. Yeah, the harpist was crazy. Also, she slaps at the harp. She's like, I guess I'm not very good at the harp. She fucking rocks.
Yeah, seriously.
She's so good at the harp.
Like playing Eruption.
And then she starts Hot for Teacher, do it like banging on the sides of the harp, and then like keeps the rhythm of the harp with one hand, like the rhythm on the side with one hand, and then with the other hand. I love Dr. Freddie Vorback. I love his suit. Look at that fucking killer purple suit.
Yeah, very Joker.
With the purple flower. Very Joker, yeah, very Penguin.
Yeah, Penguin too, yeah.
However, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
This is the most problematic guy in the movie.
He is.
Shillito's an asshole that hits women, but this guy is a fucking rapist.
Yeah.
Like he straight up attempts to rape Lydia West, Dr. West's wife. Not cool at all. Not cool at all. Fuck that guy. This is not the old style lobotomy. It's the Mencken technique. So what alternative do you offer? Love? Understanding their fathers? I like those lines. I should punch those in. Boop.
This is not the old style lobotomy. It's the Mencken technique. So what alternative do you offer? Love? Understanding their fathers? These were destructive people. And years of wallowing in self-pity while you held their hands isn't going to make them any less so.
Let's keep going with the wiki. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Have we covered everything that's in
Yeah, I forgot about the wiki completely. Might as well just run through the whole wiki.
Yeah, let's finish it right out. Another doctor at the sanitarium, Dr. Mencken, Clive Revel, Matt Brown, is also interested in Samson, but for the purpose of experimenting on him with a new surgical technique to quell his violent temper. He persuades Rhoda to agree to the surgery by lying to her. Dr. West and the two colleagues vehemently oppose such a procedure as it is too close to a lobotomy to be safe. Dr. West's wife, Lydia, Jean Seberg, is frustrated with their marriage. He is a popular TV guest for his pop psychiatric methods and views, and she sees very little of him. Eventually, she runs into Samson at the sanatorium. It says sanitarium earlier and sanatorium below. Anyway, what do you say, Metallica? Eventually, she runs into Samson at the sanatorium. Samson does not know she is married to Dr. West, but recalls her when she walked out of his women's club lecture. Blah. In his usual manner, Samson immediately seduces her, and the two have sex in a therapeutic bath. Mechanical bowl bath. Dr. West, looking for Samson, secretly sees them in the tub. When it comes time for the clinic senior staff to vote on allowing the surgical technique to be performed on Samson, Dr. West, having seen Samson with his wife, changes his vote, enabling Dr. Mencken to go ahead. Lydia finds out about the surgery and rushes to stop it, but arrives just after it has been completed. When Samson awakes from the surgery, at first his voice is so low and quiet he cannot be understood. As Dr. Mencken leans in to listen, Samson throws a punch that lands the doctor on the floor. The operation has had no effect, and Samson returns to New York. Rhoda quickly learns of his arrival and rushes to rejoin him. Samson has finally been served with a subpoena, so he must pay his ex-wife or go to jail. Rhoda prevents him from pummeling the civil servant until Lydia appears and pays him the amount owed. Lydia informs Samson she is leaving Dr. West and hints that she would like to be with her new lover, Samson. Apollo. Right? Rhoda protests as Samson invites her to come live with them both. Lydia, disgusted by the idea, becomes hysterical and rushes out, presumably never to speak with Samson again. Rhoda pleads with Samson as he goes charging off down the street before informing him that she is pregnant. He accidentally punches her. I don't know how you can do that. And the movie ends with him fighting off an angry mob of indignant spectators. I just needed to make sure that I knew the correct definition of indignant, feeling or showing anger or annoyance at what is perceived as unfair treatment. Yes, it is definitely perceived to be unfair that Connery hit Rhoda, but, you know, it's their bit. If you guys only knew, it's okay that he hit a pregnant woman.
He does it all the time.
Yeah, he pretends to all the time. This time he just accidentally hit her. Anyway.
Which makes the stair fall so much more scary.
Because she's pregnant. Oh, my God.
Like, man.
Yeah, it's at that point where you can't sympathize with him anymore because he's pushed her down the stairs. And the immediate, like, oh, no, have I hurt you kind of mentality is like, that's an abuser.
Yeah.
That's the behavior of an abuser.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go through all our notes. What else you got?
That's basically it. Actually, I didn't take many notes. 'Cause I don't know. It was a very bananas movie.
Yeah, I took a lot of notes just because of stuff I wanted to talk about and bits I think we could do. As always. All right, so this next screenshot I have here. Oh, my next note. Actually, I'm sorry. The scene where the cop and the guy trying to serve the subpoena go into the apartment and Rhoda is there and she barks at them. I really liked that bark. That was really funny. Where is he? Bark.
Where is he?
How the hell should I know?
Where is he?
Ah! Right now he's about halfway to Indiana, and if you don't get out of here in about 2 seconds, I'm gonna start screaming, cop or no cop. You understand? 1, 2, 3.
In that scene, because as we said earlier, the weird layout of the apartment, the cop leans around the wall, right? And then I wanted you to lean around the wall. Like from college.
Yes. Classic Lima trick.
The old Lima trick. All right, so my next note and screenshot is... Come on, computer. Okay. You recognize this guy in the blue jacket?
Yeah, he was in The Godfather.
Yes, Clemenza.
Yes.
Also, this very much feels like On Her Majesty's Secret Service when Lazenby is being brought to see his future father-in-law. Yeah, cool glasses on Matt Brown.
The glasses.
And then Clemenza driving. I'd be careful about sitting in that seat.
Exactly.
Don't let him pull over to take a leak.
Oh yeah. Take the gun, leave the cannoli.
And it turns out, Clemenza is like on Matt Brown's side the whole time. He like knocks Shillito on the back, knocks him out so that he can be experimented on.
Yeah.
I took a picture of this because he sleeps with Colleen Dewhurst as Dr. Vera Kropotkin, right?
Yeah.
So I just took a screenshot of this because it's Nikto porn. Oh, Nikto pork. Excuse me, Nikto pork. Nikto pork.
Nikto pork.
Just thought that was really funny. He's sent to the Thunderball Spa. When Dr. West says to Lydia West, "Be a good girl." Oof.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, during the curious line, that's ADR. Literally the word curious is ADR. Look at him in that red bathrobe.
I wish it was powder blue.
Right, right. Well, you got to distinguish him from Bond somehow.
True.
Go the exact opposite color. Everyone just falls in love with him.
It's literally the Dr. No sequence. Like it's exactly like the same deal.
Right?
You could have cut this into Thunderball, and you would think it's the part of the movie.
Right? We could combine a lot of Thunderball with this. Have him be on that stretcher machine, and then just cuts back to any scene in this movie.
It's him on like the little shaky thing. Then it's him in the bath jumping around.
Right? Yeah. From one vibration to another. Rock. I just have this one line: rocking bath, ADR, nude. So we see Connery's nudism pretty much in its entirety, except for his butt and his balls, and his Johnson. Dr. Freddy there in the purple suit touches an obviously steaming boiler.
Yeah.
He's like, ooh, what's this? Tss, ow, ooh, I'm a doctor.
You have a fever.
But
The only prescription is more cowbell.
This boiler tank has a fever. Okay, there's a moment where this screenshot here. My book, they took it. My book. Another moment of ADR. Connery does not actually say that second my book, but they ADR it in.
It's like, did I copy and paste or something? It's weird.
Yeah, it's exactly the same audio too, so I think it might be a copy and paste. An American making love is like a Hungarian playing baseball.
Yeah, I try to analyze
Is that
too.
bad?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was bad or good.
Let me Google this. Are Hungarians good at baseball? What sports are Hungarians good at? Football, swimming, fencing, athletics, table tennis, weightlifting, and rowing. No baseball. So I guess is he saying that Americans are bad at sex? Anyway, and then he tries to rape her. So who gives a fuck what he's saying? Fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
Anyway, there's a moment where Connery is on the bridge, on the bridge, and which bridge is he on?
I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure. I don't want to get any New Yorkers angry.
Yeah, get that right.
Yeah, I think that's the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah.
Well, there's a moment where two cops on either side, one on either side, and it's Connery trapped on a bridge with the enemy on either side. No way out. Cuts to No Time to Die. Grabs a rope and swings off the bridge.
It might be the Williamsburg. No, it's got to be the. Yeah, it's got to be the. Yeah, because it had like the bike path and stuff, and that's like the Manhattan Bridge, I think. That's the bridge you see in every single movie.
Well, New Yorkers out there, watch A Fine Madness. Write in, tell us what bridge that is.
This is a very New York movie. That's for sure.
So much so that we could cut that with a first man with not the
Spider-Man.
The next man. The next man.
No, that's true.
We could have Connery flying over as Connery's on the bridge. What else do we have? So after the operation, we see Connery lying down with the pads over his eyes. Have you seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
I have.
I wanted the chief to come up and just smother him. Just even though the operation didn't work, Chief still comes up and smothers him to death with a pillow. And then busts down the wall and runs away.
Oh,
turns out it's an epidemic. He's been doing that for a while. He just kills people at sanitariums, then breaks out and gets into another sanitarium and kills again. The music at 1:38 when Lydia is paying off his debt, there's just this dinging.
Who do I make it out to?
Beverly Shillitoe.
Who's that?
Shut up.
I mean, it's not horribly annoying, but it's just like, why is this in the score? Okay, these screenshots here. Gary Busey from the set of Cats.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I'll go back to it. This is where, I think this might be where the Ewok horn is, but I just took a screenshot of this. Rhoda, you better take the afternoon off. Come back tonight.
Keep on working. You do a 12-hour shift tonight.
But you better take the afternoon off.
Yeah.
I see you having a hard time. Wouldn't that suck if you're at a job clearly having a hard day and they're like, oh, I think you should take the rest of the day off. Come back tonight and finish.
Someone's got to close. It's not going to be me.
Now, I took some screenshots here because this is Jean Seberg, absolutely gorgeous. Now, I had to Google this.
She looks a little bit like from Austin Powers.
Yes, that's why I brought this up. She looks exactly like Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah.
And I thought, is she Elizabeth Hurley's mother? Nope.
Really?
Not Elizabeth Hurley's mother.
Pity.
No, I don't know if it's a pity because Elizabeth Hurley's gorgeous and Jean Seberg's gorgeous.
No,
so
I know, but
I don't think anybody lost out.
Yeah, it'd be super cool that we just found that they were related. It would have been cool.
It would have been an interesting coincidence, but they look so alike. It's ridiculous. And then this was just a goofy screenshot I found. Oh, Mrs. West.
I say.
Another goofy screenshot. The ending screen was interesting. I took a bunch of stills from the ending screen. It's just a real interesting shot to end on of Connery, like doing Wolverine growls towards a crowd while Rhoda hangs on him.
And that's literally the poster, which is funny because it's like,
but he's happier in the poster.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
So yes, he asks Lydia if she wants to move in with them, which is typical scumbag dude. You mean after all the trouble I've caused, I still get to have a three-way and you move in with me and I have two girlfriends? I really like a couple of times, you don't mean that, I mean everything. Granted, I don't like the things to which he was agreeing to, but it's still very, like, kind of sexy when he's like, I mean everything. When Rhoda reveals that she's pregnant, you hear the sound of a baby from one of the apartments.
Oh, yeah.
And then, that punch. Holy shit. What a way to end this movie. Not a good way to end this movie. I did not like that at all. Oh, no. I've accidentally punched my pregnant girlfriend. What a joke. Ha, 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 ha.
Ugh.
Oh, boy.
Definitely a little darker of the comedies, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, before we wrap this up, I kept... included... on the DVD was a feature called Mondo Connery. Did you watch this?
No.
Okay, it was only 6 minutes. And it's basically a promotional puff piece for the movie. And it shows some making of. The typical puff piece for a movie. It shows the making of and then the scene as it is finished. You know what I mean? Like, it shows the finished scene and then the making of the scene intercut, you know?
Yeah.
So it decides to start off this puff piece promotional piece, whatever, by showing the behind the scenes of Connery punching Rhoda at the end of the movie.
Oh my God.
That's how they're selling this movie. Now I took some screenshots from this thing as well, because it's actually interesting seeing some of the things behind the scenes of it. So here's a screenshot of the bridge moment. Here's Irvin Kershner right here. And there's the title card, Mondo Connery. But it's basically just, how awesome Connery is. He was in James Bond last year. Isn't that cool? Now he's going to be in this goofy comedy. Joanne Woodward is his pugnacious pussycat, says the announcer. And then there's another one who says, now, marron. Marron is a New York phrase that means fun. No, marron is Spanish for brown. Okay, and I think that is all the notes I have on this film. I had a couple of notes on the bonus feature there, Mondo Connery, which I covered. But, yeah, that's all my notes on the film, really. I took a lot of notes. I apologize. I feel like I've spent this whole podcast hogging the mic.
Oh, no, it's fine. Like, you had a lot of the same points I had, for sure.
I feel like I had a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, this was an interesting one. Very interesting.
What did you think? Was it funny?
It was. I really did try to watch it as a comedy in the '60s. I just tried to like
Yeah.
understand why it was funny, and like yeah, no, like Connery's hilarious in it. Like just like the
Yes.
little gestures and like just like little silly things. Yes, there's like really heavy stuff that's like really happening that wasn't that
Quite
heavy.
problematic stuff.
Yeah, that wasn't like heavy to other people. So it's like, it is for, it is what it is. But yeah, I think all in all, it was fun. It was funny. Kind of dragged a little bit because I was really kind of getting confused. Because like that's the thing, I was like, we were sold this as a comedy drama romance last week. So going into it, I was like, it's a comedy drama. Like in my head, when he first meets the doctor, I'm like, all right, this is gonna happen. He's gonna fix him.
I think it hit all those points of comedy, drama, romance.
Yeah, but
it's a romance, as in it's a partner that really just wants her love to survive.
But
it's a comedy.
It just goes way too bananas. The last act. When you get to the Thunderball Hospital or whatever, and
Dr. Mencken,
it just gets crazy. And there's chimps and there's eyes and there's like we're gonna fix his brain and stuff. And I was like, this is what's gonna happen. This is how the movie ends. I'm like thinking that the whole thing is like they really sell that like you have $200 worth of sessions. And they're going to show every single session to the last thing.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a therapy drama as well.
Yeah, but then it just ended up going completely left field.
What a fine madness it was.
And yeah, a fine madness. But like, yeah, just insane. And like, you don't know like what's going to happen. He's like sleeping with all these women, like making out with these women and stuff. And it's kind of like there's no payoff there of like.
Just him getting himself in trouble. Well, there's the payoff of Lydia falls in love with him and pays off his debt. But every woman he sleeps with just gets him into more trouble. That's the payoff of it. Is like none of these encounters. We don't ever see him sleep with Rhoda.
Yeah, So
none of these encounters put him in a good spot.
So yeah, it's just it was not what I was expecting, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I thought I it was nice to see Connery doing something a little different. A lot of things we've been watching lately is him like being a wise elder, or like being action star and all that,
or a villainous elder.
Villain, and this one was very different because he's just being we've seen him be a sleazebag before, but not a funny sleazebag.
And our protagonist. Someone we want to get better. You hate him and you want him to become better.
Yeah, but he
doesn't. Not not through a lobotomy. You want him to become better of his own accord because he's capable of it.
Precisely. Yeah. So bananas.
A couple more things I just wanted to say. If we're gonna put you in the sanitarium so you don't have to go to jail. You have your time to write your book. If we can get my colleagues to go along, and then the camera pans over, and it's Dr. Mencken with the monkey, the chimpanzee, and the theremin is going. I really like how they gave him the theremin to just emphasize how weird he is.
Yeah, they kind of.
It's like my esteemed colleagues, and then it's like this. You mean this dude with a monkey that popped out the eye of the dummy? That was a pretty funny moment, I gotta say, when the eye popped out.
Yeah, right.
And then. Yeah, the was that my only note? What the operation? It fooled me. I really thought that they lobotomized him.
Yeah, I was like looking at the time and I was like, all right, this is like wrapping up in a few minutes. Is this like, does this fix him? But part in my head, I was like, I bet it didn't do anything, and he's just gonna go back to being the same. He kind of gets up. He's like mumbling like, he's like, give me back my poem, and he's back, and he's like, nothing fixed him, and he's like tackling through people. It was like Daredevil. He was like just fighting in the hallway in the hospital. One shot of just craziness.
Well, Samson Shillito, Matt Murdock, all the Marvel superheroes have the alliteration, the order of names. So maybe
this could have been Daredevil.
Could have been Daredevil. Sean Connery as Daredevil.
Hell yeah!
I'll get you, Wilson Fisk. I'm slim.
This is not your shitty. But
I think we've covered everything.
I think that was a fine madness.
That was a fine madness, and yeah, I feel like it could have been better. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been way worse.
Well,
but it could have been way better.
Well, let's discuss. Let's get to our final
Let's get
scores.
to our scores.
As you guys know, at the end of the show, we like to review the scores of the film, the score of the Connery, and of course of the SHs, and the sexy rating.
Yes, of which I need to actually rate these things now because I
right.
haven't written them down, but that's okay.
You
go
know
ahead
what?
and
you know what? Don't write them down. I want it to come from the heart.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Well, you go first.
So, sexy.
Let's start with the SH.
SH. No SH. I think I mentioned before. It's kind of like it's a young Connery, but he's also attempting a Brooklyn accent. So it's kind of a very interesting Connery voice, but no S's, H's here.
0? You giving it a 0?
I think a 0.
I'm gonna give it a 2. It's there.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes, but yeah.
All right. You gonna change it or?
No, I think I'll give it a 1.
Give it a 1. Okay. All right. Sexy rating.
Ooh, that hair looks ridiculous.
Yes.
Not really sexy attitude-wise than like how he really is a douchebag, but the women are beautiful in this movie. So the movie's sexy. We got some beautiful ladies in this film.
And he does look good in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. The hair doesn't look good, but he looks good.
Yeah, this is definitely, it's still like good era Connery. It's like he's starting to go out because it's like between, like I said, Thunderball and You Only Live Twice. So it's still like this is the main run Sean Connery as Bond because he does his last Bond after this before coming back for Diamonds a few years later.
And then Shalako.
So I think we still got a good Bond here. So like I think I'll give sexiness altogether. I guess I'll give it an 8.
An 8?
8 because the movie. I like to add the movie as well. Sexiness in the movie there, and like I'm a sucker for 70s dresses and whatnot.
60s.
60s. Sorry, 60s.
1966.
1966.
So it would be peak in the middle of the 60s.
So yeah, this is the most 60s thing ever. It looks like that office looks like Mad Men. It's just it's dope.
I'm gonna give it a 6 on the sexy scale because everyone's attractive in it. It is a sex romp, but the problematic aspects of it bring it down a whole lot. I think Jean Sebring looks way better than Sean Connery in this film. I was crushing on her the whole movie. But I think all the beautiful women can't lift it any higher than a 6 because Connery is attractive, but just such a bastard. Like his treatment of women, and then also Dr. Freddy there. Dr. Freddy, bitch. Yeah. So not very sexy comparatively. I mean, a 6 is still something, but I think it's just the vibe of the film that's sexy, and the beautiful women in it.
Yes.
More than him. So. Alrighty, now shall we get into the ones that really matter?
Yes.
All right, film or Sean first?
Film first.
All right, my friend, you want to go first?
Sure.
What you giving it?
So yeah, it was
Oh, wait, I'm sorry to interrupt. The one rating I did write down was my sexy rating, and I gave it a 5, not a 6. So I'm going to change that. So it's a 5.
All right.
Making our average a 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 5 is better suited. Anyway, continue. All right, film rating.
All right,
what do you think?
Film. So yeah, I thought it was okay. It was funny, but it definitely had some issues there. But it definitely was an interesting story of this like him just trying to finish this damn poem, and he's running away from the cops and like in hilarious ways. But it's not the best thing in the world. I think I'm gonna give it like a 6.5.
6.5. I like that. That's a good rating. I think I will also give it a 6.5.
Okay.
I really liked the writer's block tortured artist storyline. Like, why did I have to be a poet? Like, it's kind of heartbreaking.
It is.
It is an artist that is clearly mentally ill and refuses to get help. Boy, do I know what that feels like. And the struggle to seek therapy or to admit that you need therapy and medication, these are huge things. And then, you cut to 57 years ago. That was an even bigger thing. You didn't admit that you need psychiatric help. That's not what a man does. It's a very interesting premise for a film, and the woman that cares about him so much and is giving everything that she possibly has to make sure he doesn't kill himself. That scene broke my heart.
Yeah.
When she's pleading to him. I haven't cried since I was 3, and I'm scared he's gonna kill himself. That scene broke my heart. So there were parts of it that really got to me. The abuse against women really took a lot of points away from the film. That being said, a lot of the jokes landed really well. I'm trying to find positives because the treatment of people in this film really takes a lot of points from it. But to focus on more positive stuff, there are a lot of really quality jokes in this film. There were parts where I was laughing out. The Madcap women's group was fucking hilarious. That was a great scene, and how just it erupts into just violence and chaos, but comedic violence, where Rhoda comes in and she like is gonna break a bottle and fucking hurt people with it. Like, it was good. So there was some really good comedic bits in there, really subtle, small bits that were really good. So yeah, 6.5 for the film for me. Would you watch it again?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, just to kind of see a couple of key moments. Just like, I think the soap thing was funny. And
yeah.
And some of the characters were a little zany too. Like, just like the doctor, like you mentioned before, with the monkey and all that. Like, it was fascinating at times. So I don't know if I'd watch the whole thing. A quick hour 40 for this film. So it's like, it wasn't too draining to watch in my opinion, but I think so. Not in a long time though.
No, I'd watch it again as well and skip through it.
Yeah,
as well. I'd skip some of the more problematic parts. Like that ending can just once Lydia comes in and pays off his debt, I'd be like, okay, movie's over. Shut that off.
Yeah.
Happy ending for everyone. Are you gonna come live with us? Yep, she is. Click off. Done. He gets a happy polyamorous ending.
Dope.
And the scumbag got everything he ever wanted. And never paid $1 more of child support. Also makes me wonder what kind of life his ex-wife and kid are leading.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so our final rating, our most important rating. Our Sean rating. Mario, what are you giving our man, Sean Connery?
A difficult task.
A very difficult task.
Because it's just, he's a scumbag. He's a piece of shit, but he's good at playing one.
Yes.
So it's like, or
is he good at being one?
Yeah, that's the question. You know, I mean, I've not changed my opinion is one of the most famous quotes ever.
Yeah.
But
Women.
yeah,
From this movie.
it's very fascinating of how you kind of see a little bit more of his range here, I suppose.
Yeah, you do. He hasn't had a chance to be this comedic yet in anything we've seen.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe like Darby O'Gill.
Darby O'Gill
or
looks
on
like
the fiddle or something.
Yeah, he's like singing and stuff in that. So we'll see how that. Hopefully, we'll see if we get on the wheel. But yeah, it's very very different, and so I don't want to like bury him because of how much of a piece of shit he is. It's like you got to read the script, unfortunately. But just because slapping women isn't cool, like I want to give him an 8, but I might take him down to a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to leave you hanging in tension. Can I Connor P?
Do it.
Before I give my Connor ranking.
I got a Connor P too, actually.
All right, let's do it. Alrighty, and we're back. Sorry about that.
Cliffhanger, I was on the tip of my toes here.
We're both back from our Connor P's. I'm going to give Connery, I think, a 7.
Ooh.
7 feels comfortable. He pulls off comedy very well. His delivery is great. His presence is undeniable. Like, you want him in the scenes, even though you hate him, even though his character is fucking awful. Like, Samson Shillito is not a good character, but I was rooting for him the whole time. Because he's played by such a goddamn charismatic actor, and because myself as a creative, I just wanted him to be able to seek the mental help that he needed and recognize that he needed it. I wanted him to overcome this fine madness. I wanted him to get better. I wanted him to publish his poem. You know, I wanted it all to work out for him. You know, as a creative, you can understand, you start a project, you just want it to be finished.
Exactly.
And that's all he wanted, and I wanted that for him. So 7 because he's really good in the role. He's clearly committed to the role. He's clearly having fun not being James Bond for a little bit, because this is the period where he's doing other stuff. He did Marnie, Woman of Straw, The Hill, and then he came back for Thunderball. Then Fine Madness. So it was kind of like he had a little break, excuse me, then had to go back to the job he didn't really love. And now he's back on summer break again before he's got to go back to the job he doesn't love and go to Japan and have photos taken of him as taking a shit. You know? But the punching can't be excused. The treating Rhoda like absolute garbage for the character can't be excused. So I think that's why, you know what? I'm going to up it to 7.5 as well. I'm going to match you.
All right.
Because I think for the women's group scene is really damn good. You just really see his desperation to get across to these people. Like, he doesn't want to be there, but he's like, his need as an artist shines through in that scene. His Sean Connery's need as an artist to be seen and validated and respected shines through in that scene of Samson Shillito as a poet needing to be heard and respected. You know? So, yeah, 7.5. I'll match you. He's good in this. Samson Shillito is not a good character, but when you want him to succeed, that's the actor doing a damn good job.
All right.
Alrighty, I think that wraps up our ratings.
That wraps up that. So you know what that means, Dylan.
What does that mean, Mario?
I think it's time for us to go take a look at the wheel of curiosity.
Oh, fuck my butt.
Whoa.
Whose turn is it to spin?
It'd be you technically, because I clicked last time. We were together, I believe, and I clicked.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll share my screen here. Oh boy, for those of you at home, this is the time every week where we go over to the website Wheel of Names, where we have created a file called the Wheel of Curiosities. And on that is the filmography of Sir Sean Connery. And each week that list gets one film shorter. Oh, boy, I'm excited. I don't even want to spin it. Every time, I'm like, let's not spin it. Let's just wait an hour. Let's just talk more. Alrighty. Oh, my God. I'm shuffling. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay. I think it's time, Mario. You think it's time?
I think it's time
to spin the
Wheel
of Curiosity.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Woman of Straw.
Woman of Straw.
Another theme song movie.
Another theme song movie. Which, all right, what have we got? What have we got down? No Zardoz. No Last Crusade. No You Only Live Twice. No The Anderson Tapes. Murder on the Orient Express. Woman of Straw. Good Man in Africa. So third. It's our third one.
We're sticking in the 60s, man.
Woman of Straw is our next one. What do we got here? Where is Woman of Straw? 1964. So we're going a little bit back in time.
Between Goldfinger and Thunderball this time.
Yeah. Alrighty. Woman of Straw. Directed by Basil Dearden. He.
Basil.
Alright, it's a crime thriller. Okay.
He looks just like James Bond in this movie. He wears a white tuxedo.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Well, they had to have been playing off his image at the time. They had to have been.
I don't even want to see anything else. I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, we can't dive in any more to this. So our next film is 1964's Woman of Straw. Again, I feel like I want to spin the wheel again.
Why?
I don't know why. I feel like we could get a better one. But Woman of Straw, it is. Are you happy with that one? Or should we?
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, I feel like we've spent a lot of time. No, we didn't. We just spent a lot of time in the 90s too. So.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's good. Get the 60s out of the way, and then maybe we can get back to that 50s, 59. Darby O'Gill, Little People.
Out of curiosity, Connery curiosity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 more films from the 60s to go.
Ooh.
On the Fiddle, Frightened City, From Russia with Love, Marnie, Thunderball, Un Monde Nouveau, You Only Live Twice, Bowler in the Bonnet, Red Tent.
Ooh. Almost done with that era. We should have like a celebration when we finish like a
No, we're not almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4. We've watched 4 from the 60s. We're not almost done. 5.
Cool.
Yeah, no, 5 from the 60s. 8,
we'll get
6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We watched 6 from the 60s. We have 10 to go. Oh my God! So we did 16 films in the 60s. That's not bad.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Either way, I'm sorry. I just got carried away with numbers. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to watching Woman of Straw. I know a good man in Africa.
Don't we all?
All right. So let's see where this is available, as we always do. Let the people know. I'm pulling up Just Watch right now here. Woman of Straw. It is on Vudu or DirecTV.
Oh.
Yeah. But as always, we suggest go support your local library.
Of course. That's the first option.
Ah, alrighty.
Even the poster, he's sporting like a martini and a white tuxedo.
Yeah, he is. Holy shit. Huh. I like this poster.
That's a nice poster.
Yeah. Though I will say it doesn't really look like Connery.
I think so.
Eh.
That's definitely a Dr. No
yeah, okay, it does, yeah.
promo shot or something. But
I'm looking forward to this one.
Me too, man.
I like this art too.
Oh yeah, I love the hand drawn stuff. It's my favorite. But
Alrighty,
okay,
well, that was A Fine Madness, directed by Irvin Kershner. I can't wait to watch the second film Connery did with Kershner. Never Say Never Again.
It'll come soon. I feel it. We've been away from Bond for a little bit. Maybe Bond will come back soon. James Bond will return.
Not that long. 4 episodes.
Still, right? 4 is still a while since we hit a Bond.
Well, we had said this before because Goldfinger was 13, Dr. No was 17, and if it kept up the rate of every 4, then we'd be done with the Bonds too quickly. We'd be spent, you know?
True.
So I mean, hopefully we don't get another Bond for like 6 or 7 movies. Not that I don't want to watch one, but just so we don't blow our Bond load.
Blow our Bond.
That's what he's. I'm about to blow my Bond load. Like, wow, you were the sexiest spy ever up until then.
Right.
Now Johnny English is the sexiest spy.
Yes, I love those movies. I didn't realize he drives Timothy Dalton's van. Timothy Dalton's van. Timothy Dalton's.
Come,
V8.
kiddies! I have candy.
He drives the Aston Martin from
Living
Dalton
Daylights?
era. Yeah, like the one with the skis on it, but it's like bright red and obnoxious. Which kind of ruins it for me. But I was like, oh, it's kind of fun because Rowan Atkinson's a huge like car fanatic. But it was just like really ugly color red. I was like, why would you ruin a beautiful car like that?
I haven't watched the first. I only saw the first one, but I haven't watched it in.
Me and
20 years.
Me and my wife did a marathon of them, and we're like, the first one isn't as exciting as I remember. There's a lot more going on in the second and third one.
There's 3 of them?
There's 3. There's a third one that like did horribly.
Johnny English Reborn, Johnny English Strikes Again.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's a third one. He teaches at like a spy school.
With Olga Kurylenko.
Yeah.
From Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, she's in it, yeah. So she played a Bond girl twice.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like it's not bad.
Wait, Johnny English was written by Purvis and Wade?
Yeah.
What? Wow. Huh.
Yeah, man. I suggest try watch it. Like you don't have to watch the second one really. Watch the third one and let me know what you think about it.
Whoa, wait a second. In the second one, there's an agent named Titus Fisher. But also, in the second one is the actor Dominic West, who he played Jigsaw in Punisher Warzone. But also, on the Eminem album Relapse, he is a voice cameo as a doctor, Dr. West.
Really?
On that album, yeah. Here we go, right here. First one on the album, Dr. West skit performed by Dominic West and Marshall Mathers.
That's insane.
Yeah, and he basically is like a kind psychiatrist that eventually becomes an evil one, that's just trying to pour pills down Marshall's throat.
Crazy.
And lobotomize him. Not Dr. Mank. Anyway, I'm just a rambling fool because I like doing this podcast and I don't like stopping it.
Oh, I feel you, man. I feel you.
I've had a good time this week, Mario. How about yourself?
I had a phenomenal time, Dylan. This was a lot of fun.
I had a fine madness.
I had a decent madness.
Yeah, I had a relatively okay madness. It was okay. It wasn't as fine as it claimed to be.
Not as fine.
Yeah.
But
would you recommend a fine madness to a friend? I would say no, because of all the hitting of women.
I probably would, just to be like, you want to see Connery, like, kind of in a funny movie? Like, check this out. It's interesting. I would say if you're a Connery fan, yeah. Like, like some of my buddies who like are into like some Connery stuff. I'm like, if you ever seen this, check this out. It'll blow your mind, but maybe not in a good way.
It'll knock you out.
But not in a good way.
Oh my god.
Is there a good way to be knocked out?
I don't know if I could recommend this to anyone.
Yeah.
Unless this turns out to be the only straight up comedy from Connery.
I think there's more. I think Darby and Gill is funny. So
yeah. We shall see.
We shall see. So guys, as always, thanks for listening in. Sean Connery will return in
Woman of Straw.
Oh.
Yeah.
So until then, I've been Mario Lima.
And I've been Dylan Titus. And as always, folks,
stay curious.
Bye.
Connery Curious.
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on social media for updates, memes, and clips. Find us on Twitter at CuriousPod007 and on Instagram at Connery Curious. You can also visit Titus Compositions at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion and content about your favorite films, comics, games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit Friggin' Nerds Media on Twitter at Friggin' Nerds. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach the other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us, and have a great day, but also, remember, stay curious.
Come on. She's outside in the car. You tell her everything you heard, Swinburne.
No, I don't want to get involved.
Oh, please, please. I'll do you a favor someday. Look, I'm in real estate. You need an apartment?
I need a room to work in, but I gotta have it today.
Done! Come on. We'll throw her mother out. You can have her room.